Welcome friends to this video. Here I want to teach you more words which contain the word ject. Now this is a word root and it comes from Latin, ject. It means to throw, ject, throw. There are many words containing this word root such as project, subject, object, as well as their verb counterparts like project or subject or object, as well as inject, interject. I'm feeling dejected. So let's get into it. Hello, my name is Callum Hems and this is my channel Hedgehog English. In this video we are going to look at a vocabulary pyramid. Here it is. You'll notice that there are 8 words all containing the root ject. I'm going to read through this pyramid from start to finish, and then one by one we are going to examine thoroughly those 8 words. Let's get started. Henry felt dejected because of a job rejection. He invited his friends to a restaurant and no one objected. But Pete kept talking about a new work project, and Tom kept interjecting with news about his flu injection, and soon they were ejected from the venue and subjected to the cold on the streets. Let's have a look at the first one. Henry felt dejected. So what does dejected mean? Okay, we know that ject is from Latin and it means throw. So let's look at the prefix here. De, dejected, dejected. Okay, well, de is also from Latin, and this means down or away from. Okay, so if you walk down the stairs, you descend the stairs, descend. So that's this prefix, and if you know these prefixes, you'll have a much easier time figuring out what everything means in the English language. So de, to descend, to go down or to go away from. So dejected, so thrown down, thrown away. And that's what Henry felt like. He felt dejected, he felt thrown down, he felt sad, he felt upset, he felt depressed, dejected. Okay, so why did Henry feel dejected? Well, he felt dejected because of a job rejection. So what does rejection mean? Reject. Well, we know that ject is throw. So what about the prefix re? Well, re usually means to do something again, like the word redo. So the first time I did my work, it was pretty poor, so I had to redo it. To do something again. In this case, we reject. So that would mean to throw something again. Now, here's an example. If you throw something at me, then I throw it again at you. I throw it back. I'm throwing it again, but back to you. So you throw it to me and sorry, I reject it and I throw it right back. Alternatively, I can throw something to you and you reject it and you send it right back to me. Let's look at the example. A man walks up to a woman in a bar. Oh, hey. And she says, oh, hell no. So the approach has been rejected, okay? It was thrown forward and it was thrown back. It was re-thrown, rejected. So Henry felt rejected. Henry felt dejected because of the job rejection. Okay, let's move forward. So Henry invited his friends to a restaurant and no one objected. Okay, objected. Well, we know that ject is throw. So what about ob? Well, ob means opposed. Someone is against or opposed. So here it's thrown out your opposition, making sure that the people know that you oppose it, object it. That's why in court films or in court stories you hear, I object, Your Honor. Somebody is against that decision, so they're throwing out their opposition. I object! And here we see no one objected. So he invited his friends out. No one said they were opposed. Everybody agreed. No one objected. And so we assume they went to the restaurant. But there was a turn of events at the restaurant because Pete kept talking about his new work project and Tom kept interjecting with news about his flu injection. So let's go to this new work project. And here, by the way, I want to mention that we can have this as a noun or a verb. So project is a noun, by the way. So JECT throw, pro or pro. What does that mean? Well, pro means forward. So project, this is something that you're doing that is going forward. Project, I have a project. It's my work, which is in the process. It's moving forward. So that's project. But what about project? When you change the stress, I have a project, project. I'm projecting my voice, project. So the stress is on the ject. Projecting my voice. So when I project, I'm projecting my voice. I'm really throwing it out there. Okay, I'm throwing my voice forward. You think of an opera singer on the stage. She or he has to project his or her voice, project loudly forward so all the audience can hear. Project. So throw forward, project my voice. Or I have a project. And then we move forward into this, and Tom kept interjecting with news about his... Well, I'm going to stop there. Let's look at the interjecting. So what does this prefix inter mean? Well, inter means in between. Somebody who's in between, like an intermediary. Somebody who helps the conversation flow. Inter. International. Between nations. Inter. Yes, so it means between. It's from Latin, between. So when we use it here, interject, between throws, now that might seem a little bit confusing, okay? But let's speak about it in terms of conversation. I say something, you say something, I say something, you say something. This is the conversation. Me, you. And then suddenly Tom, he comes in and he interjects. So interrupts. Hey! So in this case, he kept interjecting, he kept inserting his comments into the conversation. Interjecting with news about his flu injection. So here we have inject, injection. I'm going to inject you with this poison. Ha ha ha! Inject, okay? I've got to get the flu jab. I've got to get the flu injection here. So what does in mean? Well, it's quite obvious as to what it means. It means inside, okay? Throw something inside, inject, okay? Really as it is. We've got to put something inside, inject. I'm going to inject the medicine into you, inject, okay? And let's go on. So what happened next? So because Pete kept talking about his new work project and Tom kept interjecting with news about his flu injection, and because everybody was talking at the same time, they all got louder and louder and louder. The restaurant decided to eject them. So soon they were ejected from the venue. So what does eject mean? Well, eject, throw. So what does the prefix e mean? Well, that means out. Okay? From Latin, meaning out. Okay? It's not like in email where the e in email would mean electronic. No, this is different. Here it means out. So ejected. Ejected. So thrown out. Okay, now if you think of a pilot flying in a plane, now he can, if he's in trouble and in an emergency, he can press that button to eject. And what does that do? Well, it opens the top of the plane and shoots the seat out, and obviously he's got a parachute, one hopes, on his back. That's the ejection button. Eject. And obviously the plane goes on to wherever it goes, but he because he ejected himself and the seat, eject, he's okay. So the seat was ejected from the plane. So in my case, they were ejected from the venue. They were too loud and they were told to leave. So they were ejected. And then what? And then they were subjected to the cold streets. Subjected. So what does subjected mean? Okay, eject, thrown, sub. Well, take the American underground system, subway, under. So sub means under. Yeah, in New York you might take the subway. The under is a way that is under the other ways. It's the underway. Sub. Okay, so here subjected, thrown under. And when you're subjected to something, you have no choice but to receive it. Okay. If you have a naughty schoolboy in school, years and years ago, we're not talking about our time, he was subjected to a punishment from the headmaster, maybe the cane. So subjected to the cane. So it means that you have no choice. You have to receive that. You're just thrown under it. Okay? And here they were subjected to the cold streets. So obviously they were told to leave the restaurant. They were ejected from the venue and they had to go on the streets, and it was cold and they were subjected. They had to be there. They had no choice. They had to receive those cold streets. They were subjected to the cold streets. So that's the vocabulary pyramid. You've got 8 new words there and possibly more. And we've really dived deep into the meanings of those 8 words. So well done. Great job. And if you would like to carry on improving your English, then I really recommend this video here about pronunciation, where I talk about the difference between the a and the e sound in bad and bed. And I've also got this video here about idioms that I think you really ought to know. In the meantime, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe.